What's up, guys? Classy Metal here. I know I said the videos were going to be lacking. Apparently I lied. I'm pumping them out like crazy this week. Missed work due to some inclement weather, and I figured might as well make use of the time and record a video that I've been needing to record for a little while now. I'm gonna show a haul, a pretty sizable haul that I purchased from Paragon Records. It was actually my first time ever purchasing from this distro, and I have to thank Brian Arkham. Brian is a friend of mine. We're Facebook friends. He does YouTube himself, and as of I guess a couple of months ago, he just started making videos. Has some really good stuff that he's been showing in his collection videos. Pretty knowledgeable guy. And I think a lot of you that follow this channel will probably dig his collection as well. He does a healthy dose of CDs and vinyl in his collection updates. And I know a lot of people that follow this channel, you guys can all respect someone else that shows off CDs. So I'm going to link him up in the description. Definitely go check his channel out. Give him a subscribe. And put some likes on his videos and all that good stuff. And get him some support, because he definitely deserves it. As I said, these all came from Paragon Records. I had never seen this distro, this online store before, and I was as soon as I got on the website and started looking, I knew that I'd found a honey hole. There are a ton of CDs for like $5 on there, and it's a lot of underground stuff. It's a lot of stuff that you guys are used to seeing me show, the type of stuff that you're used to seeing me show. Stuff you tune in to see me show in these collection updates. It's kind of taken the place for me, in my mind, of where Red Stream was at one point, especially with the price point, because you have these CDs that are like $5, and then you have Media Mail. I did 2 separate orders for this. I've had these for a little while now. Altogether, like the shipping was less than $4 on each order, and I have a huge stack that I'm going to show you guys. So if you're in the US, definitely take advantage of that media mail. They threw some freebies in with my orders and stuff as well, so that's always a plus. Looked like I had some dog hair on the beanie there. I'm just going to get into this. I'll show there were 3 freebies that they threw in. I'll show those first. The first is a project called Gomorrah. This is some Death Doom out of here in the U.S. I believe they were out of Rhode Island. Not 100% sure. I have not spent very much time with this at all. This is a CDR inside. I guess that's why it was one of the freebies that they decided to throw in. There's another one that I'm going to show that's a CDR as well. Pretty good stuff from what I've heard. I just haven't spent enough time with it to really get it into that. But it's some pretty decent Death Doom from what I've heard. Next up is a compilation. It's just a black metal compilation. It has a bunch of... It's got 16 tracks and quite a few different bands on it. I have not listened to this one yet, but I could not find like a Discogs for this or anything to add it into my collection. My collection, whatever that's called, there on Discogs. I guess inventory. But it looks to be like some decent bands in here, but I just haven't given this a spin yet. But it was pretty nice of them to throw that in there as a freebie. And then probably the best of the 3 freebies that they threw in for me was Evoking. This is their debut full-length, Embrace the Emptiness. Fantastic release. I did not own this. This is just a CDR inside of the actual case and stuff and inserts. It's unfortunate it's a CDR, but it was free and it will hold the place. It plays fine. The music sounds great on it, so it will hold the place until I can actually get a genuine physical copy of that release. Now let's get into the stuff that I actually picked out and ordered myself. First one, we have some atmospheric black metal, kind of ambient black metal. This is a band called Witcher, and the name of the EP is in a different language. I believe it has the translation next to it, which is Witch Dance. This is pretty good. I was actually listening to this morning. they have a few albums out now. This is the only that I've heard from them. It was featured, I think, on atmospheric black metal YouTube stream at one point. I think that's where I was originally introduced to this, but it is good stuff, and it was definitely fitting for the icy weather that we were having here today. Next up, we have some more stuff out of Russia. This is Alone in the Mist with their I believe this came out in 2018 album entitled Useless. This is atmospheric black metal. It has almost like some thrashy elements that come in at times, and it has like some doom stuff going on at times as well. I purchased 2 albums from Alone in the Mist. I will show the next one next. This one is definitely leaning more to the atmospheric black metal side than the next one that I'm going to show. It does go to that slow atmospherics and then jump into like these thrashy kind of fast-paced parts. I like the transitions, especially on that Useless album. I like the transitions that band presents within that release. And then next up, I got their 2020 release. I was surprised to see this one on there for $5. That was crazy to me. This is Alone in the Mist with in Change of Torment. This one does not have near the amount of atmospherics on it as the Useless album did. This one is much more leaning to that kind of fast-paced, almost black and thrash at times. It definitely has a lot more of that going on. The albums, you can tell that they're from the same project, but they definitely have their own identities. I can definitely respect that from the band. So good stuff there from Alone in the Mist. Next up, we have some Valpheneur. This is an album that a lot of people don't like, but I pretty much dig this one. This is probably one of my favorite releases from Valpheneur. This is Vocalock. I believe that's how you pronounce that. It's raw black metal. The intro to this, it's got a few minute intro leading into the album. The intro probably has more crisp production than the actual album does. It is just raw, low production, painful black metal, but it's good stuff for what it is. I mean, the hate resonates through the music in this release, so good stuff there. Next up, I'm going to butcher this one. This is Valpheneur with Noria. This is epic black metal, epic atmospheric black metal. Has those kind of almost Roman, ancient Roman themes going on within this. Some Tolkien themes going in as well. Good stuff here. It leans a lot more to the epic, almost folky epic side of black metal than it does into atmospheric. It does have some atmospherics on this, but it has that epic, folky, epic Roman style stuff going on there. I believe that's their second release. They only put out, I think, 3, and that was the kind of the middle release for them there. Next up, we have some pagan black metal. This is out of Russia. Go figure. The name of this project is, I believe it's pronounced in English as Arcuda. I have no idea what the album title is. I think this may lean more to the NSBM spectrum of things, but I'm not going to say for sure that it does, simply because nothing in this is in English. I'm not sure. It's just something that I've kind of heard that it does, but I'm not sure. It's not in English. I know I just enjoy the music. This is Arcuda. I believe this is their debut. It was released on More Hate Productions, so I mean that is a possibility. But like I said, I'm not going to throw that out there as a accusation or as a definite fact, because I don't know. I just know that it's pagan black metal. I enjoy the music going on in this quite a bit. I enjoy that kind of Russian paganish black metal sound that a lot of those kind of folky type stuff going on, and that album is quite good at it. Next up, we have some more pagan metal. This is leans more to the folky, definitely more to the folky sides of pagan metal. This one's out of Brazil. This is Iron Woods with Ancient Faith. and it definitely has it's like folky black metal, I would say. I mean, look at that. You can kind of look at those artworks and figure what you're getting with that one. I mean, it sounds like it's a perfect artwork matchup for the release. That one was actually a blind buy when I made this purchase, and I ended up enjoying that one quite a bit. Next up, I believe this is out of Belarus. This is Interior Wrath with something that is not in English. It looks to be in Russian, and it has some wolves on the front. So I think something to do with wolf's blood is in the name of the album, but I don't know. There's so many albums in my collection now that aren't in English. I have no idea what they're singing about. It's no telling. It's no telling what I'm conjuring up here just because I don't know what they're singing about. But this is more of that kind of pagan-y, folky type stuff, black metal-ish. Good stuff here. I actually enjoy this one quite a bit. I think this is the only full length from this project. I think they had an EP or demo that came out before this, and then this came out around 2009-ish, and it was the last release that they put out. But I dig that one quite a bit. Next up, we have some blackened death metal. This is Witch King with Conjuring of Bestial Forces. This is a demo that came out in 2014. There's a song on here called Atomic Goat Command that I do. It sounds like they're just marching into battle at the beginning of that, like the beat going into that. I'm a huge advocate for that track, if nothing else, on this release. It felt like this was about the time that that this band was at their highest point for me. This was released in 2014 on Old Cemetery Records. If nothing else, just check out that one track. It's called Atomic Goat Command. I think you can find it on YouTube if you want to check that one out. Like I said, it just sounds like they're marching into battle. I'm going to have to change this case out because I just realized one of the prongs is missing. And I'm assuming I errantly broke this case because it was not like that when I first listened to it. So that looks like a Lonnie error there. So, because I will say that these all came very securely packaged up. I did not have to change any. There were no cracks in the jewel cases. None of the teeth were busted or any of that stuff that I noticed when this come in. So definitely a testament to Paragon Records there. Definitely showing how they care about sending their stuff out. Next up, we have some more black metal. This is Karndoon with their self-titled. If you try to look this up to listen to it and type in Karndoon, you're going to find tons of Lord of the Rings and Middle-earth stuff. It's hard to find a something to kind of preview this and listen to it. It has a track on here. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it's track 4, Morgul Metamorphose des Fiends or something like that. It has they actually do like the Mordor language, the black talk of Mordor going on in that. Their kind of their personal take on that, and that's pretty interesting. The black speech, I guess, of Mordor is what I was going for there. We've got some more black and death metal. This is Witch Tomb with Crippled Messiah. This is just occult black and death metal. This was probably the highest point for me of this band, and unfortunately they disbanded after this release. This was the one where it was kind of leading up to this. There was a constant kind of improvement through the project, and then they released this, and this was where they were, I felt, at their best, and then they moved on to something else. So that's unfortunate, but this is a pretty good little slab of black and death metal here. Show that front again. Next up, this is one of the favorites that I received out of this whole stack. This is some progressive black metal, kind of progressive atmospheric black metal out of New Zealand, of all places. This is just a little EP. This project only released 2 EPs. This was the second of those EPs, and this was my favorite work from them. I've been looking for this for a little bit. When I saw that it was on that site for $5, I was immediately, it was like add to cart. No, there was no way I was not getting this. This is Calliac with Never Ending Winter. I probably butchered the name of the project. The title track, Never Ending Winter, is probably my favorite track on this release as well. A Forgotten Tree, the track number 1 on this is pretty good too. I think it's only 3 tracks long, but it is some good progressive black metal. It's kind of polarizing. There's some people that aren't going to like this just from the melodies and stuff that are and the harmonies that are in this release. But for me, this hit on all cylinders, and I definitely enjoyed that one. Next up, this was a Diamond in the Rough. This is a band I've been so into this album since this came in. It's kind of pushed some of this other stuff back that I need to listen to. I've been listening to this one so much it stayed in the truck. I actually had to go get it out of my CD player to do this video. This is, I'm going to probably butcher this as well, Pojas with Matust. There's a track on here called Under the Shadow, or In the Shadow of the Glass Cross. And definitely check that one out. If this is a band that you haven't heard, they're kind of progressive. They're labeled as progressive black and doom. To me, that doesn't really fit the bill. They kind of sound like this traditional heavy metal, at times kind of doomy, almost epic doomy sound going on with traditional metal. And then you have these Viking era battery vocals coming over it, especially in that track, In the Shadow of the Glass Cross. If that makes no sense the way I just described it, go listen to that track and you'll immediately understand what I'm talking about. But this whole release, it's a short release. It's only about 25 minutes. Each song only runs about 3 or 4 minutes, and it's only 6 tracks. But it is, I mean, it's phenomenal. As I said, it's been stuck in rotation lately. It's been hogging up my playtime. So definitely stoked to have this one in the collection now. Next up, we have some more pagan. I guess this also leans more to the straight up pagan metal, folky side. This is Ancestrum, and this is my favorite release from Ancestrum. This is Spells by the Northern Winds. I think this one came out in 2011, and this one is just a nasty affair. It's good. I picked this one up and their next one, and I like this one a bit more than the next one that I'm going to show. These, I don't know, it could be misconstrued by some people as NS. I don't see it, but the way that I think it just leans more towards the pagan side of things, and there's so many people that are just ready to throw any kind of pagan metal, any kind of pagan imagery into that same and lump it all in with that same type of imagery. And that's a shame, because it's not all that way. I don't see that stuff on this one. I mean, it's possible, but I personally don't see that them being a part of that. But what do I know? This is Ancestrum with Our Heathen Soil. As I said, just those kind of pagan themes kind of get lumped into that sometimes. I mean, they could be. I could be wrong, but I'm not one to sit here and label a project or people in a project without knowing for sure. That's not my way to do things. This one's pretty good. Like I said, I like the debut full length, or I don't even know if this is the debut, just the earlier, this 2011, the Spells by the Northern Winds. I think I like that one a little bit better. Next up, I was super surprised to see this one on there. This is another one. As soon as I saw that they had it on there, I threw it in my shopping cart. I'm going to butcher the band name. They're from Chile, and they have the longest band name ever. Unos Praklaken Cotton. Yeah, it's death metal out of Chile. This is the Sign the Book of Death compilation from 2018. Has some stuff from some of their full lengths and some live tracks going on. I'm not usually the biggest fan of compilation CDs. I know I've made that clear early on, especially like best of type CDs, but this one works. They pulled out some of their better tracks. I don't have a lot of their discography. Maybe that's why it works for me. There's the actual disc. And this is one that usually goes fairly expensive. So when I saw this one on there, I definitely had to jump on that and add it to the collection. Next up, more black metal out of Russia. Surprise, surprise. This is Colossus with a title, with Beginning is the name of the... for a second, I thought that was in Russian. I couldn't hardly read it. This one's pretty good. It doesn't sound much like I was expecting it to. I did a blind buy on this one. Just when I had already had so many Russian black metal things in the cart, I figured I would throw one more. I thought it was going to be more atmospheric. Definitely not. More straightforward, most traditional black metal sounding, almost like second wave. There we go. This one was also on More Hate Productions. Next up, this is if they still have this one on there, this is a definite, you have to go get this. This is Aries Kingdom with the Unburial Dead. This album slaps. It is thrashy death metal, death infused thrash metal. I guess it could go either way. Amazing stuff. This is probably the second best release in their discography, with their latest full length probably being my personal favorite. This one ranks right up there. It is an absolute banger. Brian, I did my first order, and then Brian sent me a thing showing some stuff that he picked up, and apparently they had updated the web store after my order, and they had added this in there, so I had to go back and get my hands on this one, because I've been wanting to add more Aries Kingdom to the collection because they are a fantastic band. So. Next up, we have a band out of Chicago. This is Master with the Collection of Souls. This is one of the Master releases, full lengths, that a lot of people don't so much care for. I think it's mainly because this sounds more like a thrash metal album as opposed to a death metal. I think that turned some people away that are more into the death sound that Master had put out. I dig this one though. The production value on this is not the greatest. I don't know if it has something to do with just the pressing on this. I know that there's a lot of kind of campy pressings of Master's material. That could be a reason. I don't know. But I dig this quite a bit. I think it fits the sound, that the production value kind of fits the sound that they were going for with this release. Like I said, it just leans more to the thrashy side of things as opposed to the death metal side of things, and I think that's what turned some people off. But I dig it. Next up, we have some melodic black metal, originally out of Serbia. I think they have relocated to Canada fairly recently. I was introduced to this band through one of the Metalhead boxes that I got a couple years ago. They had an album come out in either 2018 or 2019, which was a phenomenal release. It was Esoteric Formulae or something like that was the name of the album, and it was amazing. And they had their other two full lengths available on Paragon, so I went ahead and snatched them up. First up, this is Bane. This is Chaos, Darkness, and Emptiness. Good stuff here. I like the fact that I was able to listen to all three full lengths through their discography, and it felt like each full length got stronger and stronger as the band progressed. That doesn't happen all the time, but of those three full lengths, each one felt a little bit better than the next. And then that last one, that Esoteric Formulae, that was a amazing release. It's going to be hard for them to top that one, but I am looking forward to hearing something from this band in the future. This one is entitled the Causal, I think that's how you, a Causal Fire. I liked how they kind of run with the same theme with their digipacks and artwork throughout the entire discography as well. Even though it might be a different, I know on the newest release it was a different label that put it out, but the artworks and just kind of the layout of the digipacks all has remained the same through their entire discography. So I can definitely appreciate that. Next up, we have some Death Doom. This is Aphotic with Stillness Grows. This is a compilation of two of the band's demos, and then it has some Stillness Grows demo on this as well, or EP, and then it has two other demo EPs on this. If you've been watching my collection videos where I'm starting A to Z, I'm still in the A's, but if you're watching those, you saw me go through Aphotic and say that I wanted to add some of their other releases to the collection, and then it was right after that video that I went to Paragon and this was on there. So and it was the cheapest that I'd seen it, so here it is, and it's in the collection now. I actually own 2 of the demos in separate formats that are on this, but it is nice to have the Stillness Grows portion of the music on this now. So next up we have some melodic death metal. I believe this band's out of Germany. I could be wrong. That I say that now, maybe Spain. I don't know. I just went blank. This is Mistweaver with Nocturnal Bloodshed. This is a phenomenal release. I think they released or have either they have just released an album or they have an album coming out in 2021 that's going to be their swan song. I believe the name of the album is Swan Song, but this is some phenomenal melodic death metal. I don't show, especially in this update, I didn't show a ton of mellow death, but this is well performed. I do like mellow death when it's done right. There's been some heavy hitters that I picked up as of late that are mellow death, and this is one that can fit right in with that. I do want to check out Swan Song because I am definitely peaked after spending some time with Nocturnal Bloodshed. So they have quite a few releases out. Unfortunately, that's the only one that I do own. And then last but not least is a band that has, it feels like they have 100 full lengths. I've been wanting to pick up some material from this band, but it's impossible to keep up. It gets a little frustrating when you're collector scum and you want to have all the material, and they just keep putting out full length after full length after full length. It's good in the aspect that they're putting out good music. It's just frustrating that you can't keep up and get all that. But I finally saw this one on there. Figured it was a good place to start because this is an album that I do enjoy. This is Sudakara with a Book of Douth. This is just pagan-y folk metal, and it's good. Almost Viking metal, dare I say it. But good stuff here. Glad a good starting point of putting that in this band in the collection. Definitely one of my favorite releases from them, so I was stoked to see this one on there. I think I actually purchased this somewhere else in the past, and that order was canceled, so it was nice to finally make an order and get it in, and then it still has the little thing that folds around that came in the original packaging. It has like the the Japanese letters and stuff on there, so that's kind of neat that that was still all intact when I got this. But yeah, my mouth is dry. That was a huge undertaking there, but all of that stuff was all in that price point. I'm going to link up Paragon Records in the description. Definitely go check them out. I usually don't like giving out the honey holes that I find like that, but this one was shown to me. I felt like I needed to show it to you guys. I don't like having to go into competition with people and trying to get the stuff that I want. For instance, I showed the Jagger Jones eBay that I was getting all these great albums from, and now I get outbid, I get pushed out of stuff that I want just from, it's nice that I get to share it with you guys and you're getting to add to your collection, but at the same time it hurts me because I miss out. But I'm not one of those where I can just be selfish for too long and sit on something good like that, especially when you have distros and sellers that are providing a great service. I kind of want to get their name out there. The shipping was timely. It was packed securely, and the communication was top notch as well. So I definitely felt like Paragon Records needed a shout out. It's in the description. Go check it out. There are a ton of great CDs on there for $5. They also offer vinyl. They have some Hammerheart production stuff on there. I know some of you guys are huge on those Hammerheart vinyls. They have some of their material. They have cassettes. They have some merch. Go check out Paragon. That's all I've got for today. Stay classy. Stay metal. Go subscribe to Brian Arkham or else, and I will see you guys soon. I promise.